When we go on a hike, there's 10 things we want to make sure we've got with us. First, we want to make sure we've got a map and a compass. There's all sorts of handy dandy gizmos and devices like cell phones. Cell phones, which are handy, decent navigation tools, GPS devices, but I always take a map and a compass because no matter what, this might run out of batteries, but the map and compass, we're not ever going to run out of the batteries on those, so they're always on. Also, the map and compass really don't require cell phone service, so we can always use them no matter what kind of environment we're in, like the environment I'm sitting in right now. Got our map and our compass. Second thing we want to make sure we've got is appropriate footwear. So today I'm wearing my hiking boots. Sometimes I'll hike in some trail running shoes I've got, or just regular tennis shoes. Regular tennis shoes, good sturdy ones, generally hold up for a good chunk of your general basic short day hikes and hikes around the neighborhood park. We also want to make sure we've got water and extra water. So in my pack, I've got a hydration bladder in the back, comes out here. In addition to that, I also packed an extra liter of water in my handy dandy purple Nalgene bottle. I want to make sure we've got food and extra food. So I brought some snacks for me to eat, and then I brought a little extra food in case I'm delayed in returning back to the car or back to my campsite. Rain gear. So we want to make sure we've got rain gear. So I've got a raincoat and some rain pants. Believe it or not, this will actually pack up into something that's that small. I packed it earlier just to get it out. But you can have rain gear. It can be rain jacket and rain pants. A good poncho, just something to keep the water off of you if it does start to rain. So we also want to take some extra clothes. And almost every time I go hiking, I will take an extra sweatshirt, maybe an extra t-shirt. This is a sweater that I've got and done a lot of hiking, a lot of miles in it. I'll slide that one in there. Also, depending on where we're hiking, we want to take maybe a hat to keep our heads warm, and gloves. Just about any time I come up to the Bighorn Mountains these days, I also pack this hat and this pair of gloves. Back in April, later part of April, I came for a short 3-mile day hike, and about a mile and a half in, it started snowing, and I don't think I had a hat or gloves, and my hands got cold by the time I got back to the car. So I want to make sure that we're taking the appropriate gear. Some safety items we want to make sure we've got. We'll make sure we've got a flashlight or some sort of light. I've got a headband and a flashlight, and you can see my headband or headlights in a plastic bag with the batteries out. What I've learned over the years is if I put the batteries in here, when I'm bouncing around in the backpack, it's likely to turn it on and drain the batteries down. My flashlight itself doesn't have quite the same issue. The on-off switch is a little more challenging to activate. And my backpack, and most backpacks these days have a built-in whistle. Mine is in the sternum strap right there. I can blow through that, make a whistling sound. That'll help call attention to yourself so you're not hollering. It's a little bit easier to make a lot of loud noises with a whistle than it is just yelling and yelling and yelling. Alright, so we also want to make sure we've got matches, some sort of fire starter in case we do get stuck out in the woods so that we can create a fire for warmth and heat where we need to. If we get to that point, we want to make sure that we're working with our leader to set the fire up in a safe spot where it's not going to start a grass fire. And so matches, these are stormproof matches in a neat little container. Ziploc bag works just fine. Of course, anytime we're dealing with fire starting equipment, we want to make sure that your leader is with you and watching you. Alright, so we also want to make sure we've got a first aid kit. So I've got my first aid kit here. It's got some band-aids, tweezers, I think a little pair of scissors are in there, bandages, some antibacterial cream. So we just want to have a good, well-rounded first aid kit. A knife or a multi-purpose tool, we want to make sure we've got one of those, whether that's a knife or a Leatherman. Make sure we carry that. Sunscreen, sunglasses, and sun protection. So today I'm just brought my trusty hat. It wasn't too sunny when I headed out. Even though it's not too sunny, we still want to make sure we're packing that stuff in case the sun pops out. Another thing I do to avoid sun is I'll wear long sleeve lightweight shirts and long sleeve lightweight pants to keep the sun off me when I'm out hiking. The last thing we want to make sure, because I don't know about you, but I can't carry all that stuff in my shirt pockets or pants pockets, no matter how many cargo pants pockets I have. So we want to have a good, trusty, sturdy backpack. Depending on how far we're going, will really dictate what kind of backpack we want. Typically for your general day hike, school backpack's probably plenty big and plenty sturdy enough. If we're going to go for a longer type hike, might want to evaluate getting something a little bit more sturdy. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy getting out and going for a hike. And one last thing, since I am in Wyoming, I've got the, not just because I'm in Wyoming, but because I'm in the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming, I've got the obligatory bear spray. So no matter where we go, part of knowing where we're going and understanding the hazards is making sure we get all the right gear. Probably not an issue for hiking, say, in Oklahoma City. Not too many bears down there. Actually, I don't think there are any bears down there. But here in the Bighorn Mountains, we do have black bears, so I carry bear spray with me when I'm up here hiking.